can still see it.
Okay.
But ironically, the St. John Center sits almost directly in the center
Yeah,
of the St. John community.
exactly.
And then they allowed it to become a cannabis warehouse.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Well, the first thing was that they sold it. You know,
Yeah, that was the thing that got us started.
they've been trying to get that, you know, designated as a historical site.
I would say, shouldn't it have been?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it should
what
have
we were
been.
trying to do.
It was the last remaining building of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. That's wow. That's definitely something that definitely got to be talked about and brought up. Y'all did an excellent job. I mean, an amazing job. Just painting the picture and just because that's the point we all want to live in. You know, where you know your neighbors, you know your kids are good, especially with the rate kids are killing each other, or should I say unaliving each other now, and it's just like it's at a rapid pace. It's like y'all was one.
Yeah.
Y'all was uniting. And then for it to be as a melting pot as it was, and it's like Michigan is really not a melting pot. Flint was the hub and a melting pot for all different ethnicities.
You know, and it's funny because it was a melting pot at the same time that Flint was recognized as one of the most segregated cities in the United States at that time.
Wow. And you don't even think Flint is
But when you
segregation.
think back on it, it's understandable because during what they so-called migration, the Great Migration of blacks coming from the South, seeking automotive jobs and so forth. Well, not only did the blacks come from the South looking for those jobs, the whites did too.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought along with them the same prejudice and bigotry that they had down there. So they just moved the whole thing.
How you doing? You want to come in?
Cool.
I'm just here to see you.
So pull up another chair. All right, you said it's did you send it already?
Yep, there we are.
Yeah.
We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs. Fli-City come off authentic, authentic. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce.
My city experiencing a transition from penny pinching, maximizing our dollars, multiply triple digits. I came a long way from baby jars in a project kitchen.
So Mr. James?
Yes,
and
Brenda.
Miss Brenda. Okay. Just want to make sure. Exactly what.
I love that tune. I love it.
What's that?
The Fli-City tune.
Oh,
Oh.
I do. I like that.
Right.
That's a good tune.
It really is.
Man, it hit. Yeah.
Tells a story, doesn't it?
Man,
mhm.
so I even like the video.
Yeah. Me too.
You guys did an awesome job with that. You know. Got to show city.
Oh,
All right, you ready? We live, right? Oh, we live. Oh, welcome back. How everybody doing? You know, Carmack and stuff. My brother got us live. Okay, welcome back to Fli-City, everybody. How you guys doing tonight? We got Brother James, the one and only Brother James, and Sister Brenda.
How you do?
Queen and King. So y'all buckle up y'all seats and ride along with this history lesson with us, man. Let's get some knowledge tonight. A great night for knowledge. So we are talking about the St. John Street. We're talking about the neighborhood. You got a dance coming up,
right.
which is the first. It kicks off Juneteenth. like let's celebrate and get ready for that. You know, it's the kickoff. So can you kind of walk us through and tell us St. John's, and even I know it's a community, but what does that mean at Flint? Like, because I'm 38 and never heard of St. John.
Go ahead.
And that's the purpose for this too.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell our stories. Let people know how it used to be. And how we would love it to be like that again.
Yes, ma'am.
We were a community that we were just together. We had we just respected each other, loved each other, took care of each other, and everyone got along. We had a little brawl and stuff. I'm not saying everything was perfect, but we all got along. Everyone knew everybody. It was a community where me personally, it was so peaceful to me. There was a lot of stuff going on, but I felt safe and peaceful.
That's
On St. John Street, I really did. Walk anywhere you wanted to go. Nobody messed with you. You didn't have to worry about being shot at. Share this with you. My son was walking up our street the other day, and car coming up the street. He said he saw this guy lean out the car and shot him with a paintball.
wow,
Yeah, so that was
unnecessary.
yeah,
Like it
was frightening because it could have been more than a paintball.
exactly.
You know? He's right there in his own neighborhood. Who does that?
And then the thing is, what he had something to return by.
That's what I
You know?
told him. I said it's a good thing you weren't packing.
Like that's a game that you're playing 50-50 with your life. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand they want an adrenaline rush and they want a thrill, but it's other ways to get a thrill.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, but we didn't experience stuff like that on St. John Street. They had the little brawls and stuff. But that was basically it.
see, that's amazing. See, that's the fabric and the foundation that you can still feel in Flint. You can still feel it in the people.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
it's not lost. I think it's uneducated, but we don't know. We don't know the rich history of Flint. All we know is, you know, what we see. So we go off of more what we see than trying to seek the knowledge, get an understanding of the knowledge. It takes moments like this, sitting down and having great conversation, dialogues, and opening your ears, or sometimes just listen, you know?
Right.
So it's like, I think we have to listen more
Yeah,
to get a better
that's true.
understanding of where we need to go for the future.
And better communication,
Yes, ma'am.
for sure.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like, I love that. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Like,
Well, I was born and raised here in Flint.
yes, ma'am.
I lived on Easy Street. I said everything was that easy, but I lived on Easy Street.
That was the name of the street. Easy
Easy
Street.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you did feel peaceful and safe.
Yeah. We lived, my family, my mom, my dad, and my sister and brother lived upstairs over my grandparents. And I always tell everybody we lived in a loft before lofts were popular. So we had this one big room, and it was our living room and bedroom too. My parents' bedroom on one end, ours on the other, and the living room in between. We did have a kitchen and a bathroom. Then after we left, but that was that right there. I was just happy there. My family, just a family, was like a family affair. You know, all my relatives lived in that area. My cousin, the Skinners, lived up the street. My aunt lived on the short end of Easy Street off of St. John. Then all my relatives were in walking distance.
See, that's
And
amazing.
so we ate together. We dined together every day. We had breakfast, didn't have lunch. You was sure to have dinner together. And that's when, you know, the communication, how was school and all this other stuff went on. And we all basically attended the same church. We belonged to the New Zion Baptist at the time. And my granddad was a deacon. My grandmother was the glue in the family, everything. But we had some amazing neighbors. Across the street, I loved this young lady. Her name was Phil Baby. I called her Phil Baby, but her name was Phyllis.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And I
remember
think
Phil
I
Baby. Yeah.
really do believe they were some kin to what's the last name?
Phil Baby's last name?
Their last name was who sang with the Temptations?
Oh,
Oh, God, I
Not
lost
Ruffin.
my thought.
Mhm.
Phil Baby's last name was Phyllis.
not Ruffin. Is it Ruffin?
No, not Ruffin. The high voice.
Ruffin, then you had.
Kendrick.
Oh, Kendrick.
I think there was some Ken. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But Phil Baby used to babysit. I mean, I just took up with her. He used to do some fantastic things.
Yeah.
I remember once her taking potatoes. She started a fire in between these bricks, and she took a potato and put in there, and it baked.
Wow.
I was the best tasting thing you ever had in your life.
Wow.
Well, you know, talking about potatoes and baking potatoes, it just brought back a memory.
Okay.
When I was a kid in the St. John Street area, we had very few vacant lots because there was a house on every lot. That's why we played ball in the streets,
Makes sense.
because we didn't have lots. And only the other place was the school ground. Of course, if you didn't get there early enough, you didn't have the diamond because somebody else had it.
Right.
But anyway, on far as potatoes, on this vacant lot across the street from my house, I lived on the corner of Dakota and Boulevard Drive. There was a vacant lot overgrown with trees and vines. So consequently, we as kids named it the jungle. You know, and that became the place. You know, where's James or where's Robin? He's over in the jungle. But our parents would let us come in the kitchen and grab 2 or 3 potatoes. You know, we're running in the jungle, right? We go there and get us a stick, sharpen, stick it in the potato, and roast it over fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we used to do all those kind of things, make our own slingshots and bow and arrows. But talking about the St. John Street neighborhood as a community, and Brenda mentioned how everybody got along, and we did. Even those that decided to disobey the law every once in a while, through drinking or whatever. But one thing, there was an unwritten code among those thugsters as well. They didn't mess with old people. They did old people. They didn't bother. They didn't break into their homes. It was an unwritten code. Don't mess with them.
That's respect now.
And that's how the neighborhood was. We had beat cops. They knew us by name. We knew them by name. They would stop us on the streets and talk to us and so forth. So, you know, and visibility of the police department kept down a lot of crime, which is what we don't have today.
Exactly.
Okay. But now, getting back to the St. John Street Center and our celebration, St. John Street Community Center was the place. That's where all the activities took place. The kids went there for roller skating. We had knockdown, drag out football games in the back with no equipment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we had city rivalries. The South Side kids would come over and play the North Side kids football, basketball, whatever. Just friendly rivalries.
So what was the schools?
We had 2 schools.
Okay.
Roosevelt School, which was up north of Stewart, and we had Fairview School, which was on Lee Street. And I went to Fairview. I think you went to both, didn't you?
I went to both. Went
Yeah.
to Fairview, and then we moved up on
And
Oregon.
then she
I
moved and went to both.
Roosevelt. Yeah.
But Fairview School was famously known as the target school for the Flint community school concept by C.S. Mott and Frank Manley. And that community school system was studied by people from all over the country.
Oh, wow.
They came here to study the concept. And the concept was, don't close the schools at 3:30 or 4 o'clock when school is out. Leave it open until 9 o'clock. The parents would come over. They would take arts and crafts, learn to sew, learn to cook. We had one woman who is very famously known. And if you mention her name today, tomorrow, and 30 years from now, 50 years from now, people will know who you're talking about, Miss Broadway. And Miss Broadway, she was really something. And I have a story that my dad told me. When we first came to Flint in 1942, I was 2 years old. Dad and my mother were looking in search of a church home after they got here. And the first church they went to was Metropolitan Baptist Church, which was on Industrial. The first person they met when they walked in the door was Miss Broadway.
Oh, wow.
And my dad said they were just so taken with her exuberance and her personality, they never went to another church. And I'm still attending that church right today.
No, that is a blessing.
1942.
That is a blessing. Even for the church to still be standing.
Oh, it's grown. It's grown from a very small church on Industrial. It grown so big they had to change the address and put it on Myrtle. So Industrial and Myrtle.
So it's in there since 1942.
1938 is the anniversary date.
Wow.
Yeah. And that Miss Broadway is one of the founding members of Metropolitan Baptist Church.
So that's history within itself.
Within itself.
Like that's a history nugget that we need to
and
put
that's
back there. And
it's our intention, and it's in our development plans with the St. John Street Memorial Park to honor Miss Broadway by either a statue on down the line once we get the park going, or through a kiosk and to display her accomplishments.
that way we can understand
Exactly.
the history. Because it's like they don't put it in books anymore.
That's right.
You know, it's like if we don't take advantage of these moments right here, it's gone. We never know.
That's right.
So this is why these conversations, like I say, are so important. Like I love to just understand because you can feel it. Like I say, you can feel it. You can feel it. Like I heard somebody say about the Flint strong that they didn't really like the strong part, but I mean it's a staple. We are strong.
Exactly.
You know, I understand they probably was trying to be funny or slap us in the face with the strong part, but at the end of the day, we still live up to that. We're strong, and we're unbreakable people.
Exactly.
So it's getting back to those values of St. John community, and I feel like with the kiosk, with the park, it comes understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that we should be chasing. I mean, really taking advantage of. And I like the roller derbies. I heard like you didn't have paved streets.
Oh,
No.
Like how
roads.
I can remember when they started paving Boulevard Drive. Remember, Boulevard Drive was a dirt road all the way from Dordt Highway to Hamilton.
Wow.
And there were many, Hubert, Hitchcock, all those streets were dirt roads.
Tell my needs about it. I fell on that dirt a lot of times on my bike.
And here we are complaining about potholes and stuff like that. It's like, you know, y'all didn't even have paved streets. It's and then buses. So like traveling to school.
Trolleys. They didn't call them buses, and they were trolleys.
Yeah.
They were electric. They were.
They had tentacles that went up to the wires.
Wires ran along the wires in the street.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you ride on that thing, and the sparks are flying everywhere.
Very similar to the trolleys that you see. Have you ever been to New Orleans?
I haven't, but I've
seen the trolleys.
Yeah.
That's very similar to those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like Flint was copied in a lot of different states. You see the motto. Like it was the motto.
Well, it was an industrial town. At one time, I think in the early 60s, Flint had almost 60,000 people employed by General Motors here in the city of Flint.
So
we had that many plants.
Population number at that time.
Oh, 100 and something, probably 150,000. It was the second largest city in the state of Michigan at that time.
That's something that we don't
ahead of Grand Rapids.
Right. Now that's huge.
Yeah, like, Detroit was the largest and Flint was the second largest.
So that's why everybody, when we say we're from Flint, they be like, or from Michigan, they always say Detroit.
Yeah.
I got that. Everybody knows Flint.
I got that monitor in service too. They called it anybody from Michigan in service was Detroit.
Like, yeah, we love all our Michigan Padres, but this is Flint. Like,
Yeah.
This is the native ground. Like this is where greatness walk. You know, it's just I can feel the greatness coming up.
Oh, we had
It's like-
a lot of influential and famous people come out of the St. John Street area.
Mm.
Athletes, many athletes, nationwide, pros, football, politicians, doctors, dentists, judges, came out of that St. John Street area.
So we do have a black professional side
Exactly, absolutely.
where we think, well, everything is, blotted out. We do have, because even where I didn't know that we were called color instead of blacks.
Oh yeah,
That like even just that little term.
yeah. I think Ali had
that.
something to say about that. He said, "Color? What color? What's color?" But, I don't. That's another thing that white people always want to give us some kind of name other than person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're all
We were
Human.
We were Negroes, and then we were Negroes, and then this. Even the African American connotation. I have mixed reviews about that.
Mhm.
I'm black.
100%.
That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
I have some black. I have African blood. Blacks came out of Africa, but I don't know a thing about Africa.
Yes, sir.
I've never been to Africa. I live here. I'm an American. I happen to be a black, but I'm American.
Yes, sir.
And that's, like I said, I have mixed feelings about that African American thing.
Because it's crazy. I'm sorry.
But just to get back to our celebration,
Okay.
Yep.
One of your guests said, please reintroduce yourselves.
Please reintroduce ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. How you guys doing? I'm Brother Ricky, Brother James. You go
I
ahead.
am James Wardlow, president of the St. John Street Historical Committee.
And I am Brenda Waite, secretary of the St. John Street Historical Committee.
History. What kind of questions they ask over? Let's get them engaged. We want them.
Look at this.
Yeah, because we want like
What?
this is the
Oh,
time
We're
where
supposed to be looking at this.
Yes.
well you don't have to, but if they have some good questions, because they might have some questions where I know you got it.
I'll pull it up when questions I have.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Ask about
tell them be engaged.
The rolling ring.
Yeah,
About what?
The rolling ring.
Oh, the rollerball.
Rolling ball.
It was our skating rink. It was place to go. It was a lot of fun, but when you came out of there, you were a different color.
It was dusty. Boy, I tell you,
Oh, but I used to love it.
we
I
had
love
fun
it.
in that place.
Yes.
And everybody in the neighborhood could roller skate. And I don't mean just roll along. We had some people that could have been professional
Yeah,
roller
for
skaters.
sure.
Yeah.
but I guess you got to be when you rolling on what not paved roads.
But, yeah,
You
but
gotta get.
Well, at the rollerball, we had a floor,
it wouldn't though.
a wooden floor,
Wow.
well worn. Yeah.
Man.
We roller skated on pavement too.
Yeah.
Just-
At the St. John Street Center,
Yeah.
Okay.
we roller skated there too in the basement, but it had a concrete floor.
Yeah.
Everything went on at the St. John Street Center. Weddings,
Mhm.
city basketball, play city basketball, all kind of activities, adult activities for the children, just everything. And that's why we were so upset as a committee to find out that the city had sold the St. John Street Center.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Like
But
this, right?
not only that they sold it, when they announced the sale, they referred to it as the old police training academy,
Mm.
which it became after they destroyed the neighborhood. But it bothered us that they did not refer to it as the old St. John Street Community Center.
100%.
Because that was our last building. That was the last edifice in the whole neighborhood. That
Last
building.
building standing.
And we had been trying through various administrations to get it designated as a historical site. but the change in administrations got lost and so forth. The effort got lost.
See,
But this time, it started at the Juneteenth in 2021, after the sale was announced.
Right.
I happened to see the mayor at the celebration over at the College and Cultural Center during our celebration, Juneteenth celebration. And I mentioned it to him, how we felt about that. About how they had ignored the fact that it was the St. John Street Community Center.
right?
And it really upset us. And what our efforts had been trying to get it designated as a historical site. And Dewan was with us when we finally met with the mayor that first time to discuss getting it designated as a historical site. And for some reason at that meeting, something just popped in my head and said, well, no, we're not going for the historical site anymore. We want a memorial park.
Mm.
And he bought into it. And that's what we've been working on the last 3 years. And it's moving.
That's awesome.
It's moving.
That's
We've got some funding. We've got a Sparks grant. We've got some ARPA grants. We've got an engineering company that's working on a development plan at this moment.
How can we as the community get involved and help with this project?
Contribute
Donate.
money.
Where do we donate?
We need money.
Where
You
do we
can-
donate?
We have a site.
We have a website.
We have a
Okay.
website. St. John Street Historical Committee.com.
Come on, guys. Let's get to work. We need this. We need this. This is hip. They can't get lost.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, I feel it.
The park's going to be there. Pardon me?
Can you say we donate again?
Where you donate again? The website.
St. John Street Historical Committee.com.
That's awesome. Yeah, we definitely need to donate, guys. We need to get involved. Like, this is something to celebrate.
Yeah, we had great plans for the site, and that's why having this what we used to call street dances. Back in our day, they call them block parties now.
Okay. Yes,
But we refer to it as street dance for this occasion.
I like that.
And we just want people to get familiar with the site, come down, celebrate, have a hot dog, hamburgers, help us celebrate Juneteenth, as well as the revival of the St. John Street history.
Yes,
It'll be the first.
Get a look at the site where our memorial park is going to be. It's already been renamed
that's
the St. John Street Neighborhood Memorial Park by resolution of the Flint City Council.
That's history right there.
Yes, sir.
Why that's not on the news? That's something we gotta be on top of this, because this is stuff that the community should see, the community should know about. You know, they put all the negative out there, but this is something positive and something great. You know,
Yeah.
and for it to start as an idea, you can see how far an idea can go if you just put work on it.
We've done a couple of documentaries with iMichigan Productions. Rodney Brown, he's done a wonderful job
Yes, he did.
on reviving the history. And I think he's working on having a public showing of that documentary at some point. And we've done a couple of, well, you saw the one documentary we did.
Sloan.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
Sloan.
sir. Yep.
Yeah. And so we're trying to get the word out. I've done a couple of interviews on Fox and also ABC, that Channel 12. What's her name?
Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dawn. Yeah.
We need to have your face, your faces everywhere, like everywhere. That's why it's important. Like, I can't stress it enough for us all to come out and celebrate. I mean, it's the kickoff. So it's like, let's really kick it off, you know?
Yeah.
For
And to
sure.
be able to come
For
down, to be able to dance, listen to music, great vibes, great food, and then great conversation that you're gonna get to learn something from, you get to take
Exactly.
something from. Like,
Exactly.
you can't miss these opportunities. These opportunities you bring your babies to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
you said something earlier when we first started. You didn't know anything about St. John. You had never heard of St. John. That's our purpose. That's
it.
that's what we're all about.
Because you're not
Bringing the
alone.
name back.
You're not alone.
Right.
You mentioned St. John's. Where is that? I've had several people come by and I've discussing this with them, telling them to come to the event Saturday.
Yeah, we have to. We have to come out and represent. Like,
Yeah, and in dealing, since we started dealing with the different agencies, the city agencies, and pursuing our plans, we found that people just didn't know anything about St. John. Nothing. We got a lot.
We were totally erased.
We got a lot of. Oh, I didn't know that. Really? Where? You know?
like you kind of see that, from the structures of the building, that Flint is great. It's historic all through. You can see
Oh yeah.
it's from the foundation. But like, kids kind of close your ears. I didn't know we had a red light district. I didn't know it was like a gas town like it was.
Big jazz.
The number, man, it's like you hear these stories, but you didn't know that they were really going on right here in our own city, and it's like that's a movie within itself. Like St. John could be like produced into a great movie, stage play.
Yeah.
I mean, the ideal is endless because I would love to just go and just grab a pear off the tree right now and just say,
Well, believe it or not, people would come from out of town, Detroit, Pontiac, Saginaw, Grand Rapids, to Flint, to party.
Mhm.
They would come and people was always stopping you somewhere and said, well, how do I get to St. John Street?
So they were
Because St. John Street was where it was happening. St. John Street ran right down through the neighborhood, the middle of the neighborhood. It was the industrial district. There were bars and funeral homes and churches and movie theaters and hardwares and gas stations all up and down St. John Street.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that is.
And it was something happening all the time.
But the crime rate was low.
Crime rate, you might read the paper one day and find out that somebody got stabbed or got cut.
But it never rolled on
But you didn't hear about people's houses being broken into. You didn't hear about rape and child abuse. Every child was everybody's child.
That's how
in the neighborhood. It was the village.
Yes, sir.
You had to be, when you were a kid, you had to be on your P's and Q's about how you acted, because wherever you were in the neighborhood, you were being watched. And if you got out of line when you got home, in spite of the fact that we didn't have cell phones, your parents already knew. They already knew what was going on.
Then I heard you talking about the phone too, how it was what did you call it, the phone where everybody could hear?
Party line.
Yeah, the party line. Yeah.
So explain what a party line is.
Two or three people were on the same line. But you might pick up the phone and hear someone else talking and go, excuse me. You had to wait until they finished with their conversation. I remember when we lived on Oregon, we had a neighbor named Mrs. Nagy, and Mrs. Nagy and my family were on the same line. And Miss Nagy came over and told my mother on Hilda, because Hilda wouldn't get off the phone.
Wow.
And they lived right across the street anyway. So
man, that is awesome.
Now, see, that's also indicative of the fact that how people got along.
Mm-hmm.
We had all these party lines, sharing party lines on the phone, but everybody got along.
Mm-hmm.
They would pick up the phone and somebody else was on and said, how long will you be? I need to make a phone call or whatever. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
See, that's respect. Like respect, it was like respect was all around.
Yeah.
Like you had no other way but respect.
Yes.
It's like you respected your neighbors respected you.
That's right.
Like the kids respected the parents respected the kids.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
It's man.
And as far as the parents and kids relationship, there was no negotiation.
Oh.
None. And there was no why.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. Just do it.
That's it.
I shouldn't even say because I
Lean that.
right. If I say it, so that means I said too much.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes they didn't have to say anything. All they had to do was give you the look.
Man.
My mother had to look, man. My mother could give me that look.
Yours and mine too. You know what? I had it too. But I had my nieces one time, and I was somewhere, and I was giving them that look, and they go, "What?" They didn't know about the look.
Nah.
No words needed.
Yeah, you got that look like you did not sit in a room where grown folks were talking. You did not enter that room. If you entered by mistake, that's when you got the look. Like, have you lost your mind? Yeah. So you slowly backed up and got out of there.
Yeah.
It amazed me how everything recycles, especially in the Black community. Everything recycles. Like, let's say tennis shoes, styles, dances, songs, everything recycled. But it seemed like something that we can't grasp or hold to recycle is that respect and that love for each other.
You just said it. Respect. That's a loss. It's a loss that we got to try to get the respect angle back.
Man.
Because, you know, I still say yes, sir, and no, sir.
Yes, sir.
And no, ma'am, and yes, ma'am to people probably younger than me, you know, but that's the way I was raised. That's just a matter of respect, not of age.
I think we were taught wrong with that because I know a lot of times we was taught, oh, respect is earned. And it's like, no, respect is given.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
disrespect is earned.
That's right. That's right.
Like if I got disrespect, you earned that. But I gave you the respect first.
That's right.
And it's like, it's little things like that that it keeps our mind to where we have to go to the negative side because it's like, well, you don't respect me, well, I'm gonna respect you. But you don't even know if that person respects you or not because you haven't shown respect off the gate. So
there
like,
you go.
we only responsible for our actions, you know. So if we lead with respect and somebody don't give you respect back, well, you did, right?
That's right. That's right.
You might get two more people that show you way more respect than that one person did.
That's right.
Or see that you show that person respect and they respect the fact that you show respect. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that I mean, this is amazing. Like I don't even know our time limit, but I know I can go on because I can envision it. I can see it. It's something that I always wanted for my kids, you know. I moved my kids. We moved to North Carolina. We were down there for 10 years. I'm like, I'll be down there for 10 years and I'm coming back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't the best decision I made. For one, it's too hot. I love my city because for one, we get the best of everything.
Exactly.
We get everything.
Yeah.
You know, you can
We
grow
get it all.
anything.
Yeah.
Like this.
And we learn to preach each season.
Yes.
Appreciate.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like that 100 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I ain't started my day yet. Like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this. It's like, no. But it's like, in my mind, I was trying to take them somewhere safe, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't have to.
Well, you'll find that you can't, there's no place safe. You've got to be protective of your children, of people around you, because there's nowhere you can run or go to be safe anymore. It's everywhere. You know, you see people on TV when something happens in a certain neighborhood and people are flabbergasted. I never thought it would happen here.
Right.
It happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Just
But if you could have envisioned, and when that documentary, when Rodney Brown is finally able to have a showing, you need to really see that documentary because he's done a wonderful job on it. And it shows the St. John Street area through interviews of how it was. You know, it was a self-sufficient community of Black people and some Eastern Europeans and some Mexicans, but we all coexisted peacefully. But a majority of the neighborhood was Black. The majority of the businesses were owned by Blacks. The funeral homes, the grocery stores, gas stations, the pawn shops, the barber shops, the restaurants, Black owned. So we were self-sufficient. The only reason we really had to get out of the area and spend some money outside the area was like the hospital
Okay.
or major appliances like stoves or refrigerators or something like that. We didn't have any appliance stores. Well, we had one on industrial.
Yeah.
But everything else was right there and Black owned. And when they came through with this so-called urban renewal that I refer to as urban removal, that's what it did. They just came in and wiped out the entire neighborhood, which was uncalled for. But they did it because they could. Without any input, they just did it.
That was the problem with the Interstate Act.
Yeah.
They went around the country.
Through Eisenhower's.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they preached it on the urban communities.
Yeah.
They come right through urban communities, displace everybody who lived in that area, right? And didn't even give you the means to be able to move or purchase your own home somewhere else.
That's right.
Right.
See, and another thing they did with that urban renewal, they talked about it for so long, and they encouraged people. Now, it was a community where we took care of our homes. We cut the grass. We painted our homes. They were nice homes.
Right.
But they started talking this urban renewal bit, and when you hear urban renewal, you think of
Some
renovation,
Right.
Yes.
you know.
Right.
That's how they get you with the word.
Yes.
Man.
Because I always thought that they were going to rebuild.
That's what everybody thought.
You know.
But that was not their plan.
Mm.
They carried out their plan just as well as they wanted to.
That's right.
Wipe out the area, take that land cheaply through eminent domain. But at first they laid the groundwork with making people think that it's going to be renovated, it's going to be upgraded and so forth. So don't put a whole lot of money into your home, okay? So now when they got ready to initiate the plan, they came back into the neighborhood and said, well, your house is not really worth what you think it's worth. Well, of course not, because we stopped putting money into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they told you to stop putting money into your house.
Uh-huh.
And then when it came time to appraise, they told you, well, nah, what you saying is worth, that's not really what it's worth.
No, that's not worth. So take this and go.
Relocate.
And that wasn't even enough to move you because it was already too high over there anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
now-
they wiped out our generational wealth for one thing.
right.
You
All
know,
the black business.
whatever little money that they got for the businesses and the homes and so forth had to go towards a new residence, a new mortgage,
Right.
or public housing. So consequently, everything that you had worked for to pay, they used to have mortgage burning parties
Mm-hmm. Sure
in
did.
the neighborhood. It was a big thing.
Okay.
When you
What
pay
is
off-
the mortgage?
When you paid off your mortgage, you had a big party.
Wow. That's
And the whole
dope.
neighborhood.
That's dope.
And you burn that piece of paper, that mortgage, but so that belonged to you now. That was your
And the
home.
neighborhood came in
The
to celebrate
neighborhood,
with
that's
you.
right.
Like, yeah, we got another one.
Yeah.
We got another one.
Yeah.
Like, that's buying up the block.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's community buying. You know, like, that's community driven. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, wow. Togetherness. That's all I keep seeing is just togetherness, the willingness to work together. I got your kid when you can't see him.
Oh, absolutely.
And you got mine when you,
Mhm.
you know, and it the right hand and left hand work together.
You know, there was something else that, and I know Brenda experienced this too, because most of the kids in the neighborhood did. When we were playing in the streets during the day, we had to be home when the street lights started to flicker. We had to be in the yard or on the porch when it came all the way on.
Man.
Okay. But now, if you got caught out in the streets playing your game and everything and kind of sneaked up on you and it started flickering, you would ask your playmate or whoever you might have been playing with or whose house you were at, see if your mama let me spend the night.
I know that.
And their mama would go in, get on the phone and call my mama and say,
Yeah.
You
James is up here.
You talked to it before. You actually was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You already knew what Mama said.
Yeah. So James is here. I'm getting ready to feed him. Is it all right if you spend the night? I'll send him home in the morning. There it was. So we spent the night at each other's houses and ate at the table, whatever, and everybody ate at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
As a family.
Yeah.
Not just I'm on my cell phone.
No.
Daddy over here in the garage. It was a
And you
family
ate
affair.
what was on the table. None of, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Man, good foods, but good food. What's for dinner? Good food.
That's it.
I gotta argue with Delilah and them. They want to go to 2 different fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
Man,
And that goes back to that non-negotiation.
That's right.
You know,
You're right.
you eat what's there, you don't eat it all.
Yeah.
You're right.
that's great.
What you want to do?
There you go.
If you think about it, we got party lines now. I'm pretty sure you, your daughter, your son, y'all are on the same phone line.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it if it was like that, where you can pick up and say, like, I gotta make a phone call right quick. But you can hear everything she's saying on her phone. But you can hear maybe these kids will hate that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what
You get the phone, and mama pick up the phone. Get the dial.
Mama, I'm on the phone.
I'm ready my
Or the
bed.
neighbors, you know what I mean? The neighbor already know. Oh, your kid was on the phone last night, 3 o'clock in the morning. They talking about skipping school tomorrow.
And girl, you won't believe what they were talking about.
Somebody was really always listening. Like, so they heard or saw, and you really couldn't get away with that.
You forget about getting away with it. And that made you think about the consequences of your actions.
Man.
Because I'm going to get checked. I know I am.
As soon as I get home, like, waiting, like, this boy, he like, street light's been on 2 minutes.
Now, if you got busted early in the day, the worst words that you could hear is "wait till your daddy gets home."
Yeah.
Man.
That messed up your whole day. You couldn't have fun. You couldn't play because all you could think about was, "Oh man, when daddy gets home."
That is so true. I can't tell you the number of times I went through that.
Yeah, it spoils your whole day.
Just hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just know, okay, I know he's coming home.
yeah. He didn't work, but he's coming home. Yeah,
He coming. What's
You think you're trying to go to bed early?
right?
yeah. They wake you up.
I know.
Try to do the pad and she try to put on extra pants. And try to put on some sweatpants over some jeans, couple basketball shorts. I'm like, yeah, boy, I know you ain't that big. Go ahead and take the clothes all off.
But see, whatever offense that you were guilty of, you didn't do it again. You got busted at one time.
And if you did, you at least got smarter. And
That's right. Not that one. I might get busted for something else, but not that one.
Y'all go ahead. I already got a whooping for that one. Man, like, no, that is rich history. That's the discipline that we got to get back as parents, as children. I mean, as a community as a whole, because I see a lot of this word, that word, and I don't see a lot of one thing.
Yeah.
It's my ward is better than your ward. My ward, it's like at the end of the day, we're one point. When it's a negative stink on point, it's point. They're not talking about the second or the third, or it's one point. And we got to get back to that mindset that this is one point. We already losing our schools.
Oh yeah, that's
Grabbing all our kids and
to believe that we were a beacon at one time. The city of Flint was a beacon for community schools. Everybody wanted to study the concept of Flint community schools.
See, and
Right here in the city of Flint, we were it. And the Charles Stewart Mott and Frank Manley, they did so much. Now they had the racist attitudes in some instances and so forth. We know C.S. Mott had his too. But one thing about it, he invested in the children in the community. And when I mentioned Miss Broadway was, I don't think anybody could get to CS Mott like she could. She could get anything from Charles Stewart Mott. Now, you know what I'm talking about when I say Charles Stewart Mott, right?
My foundation.
Yeah. And as far as athletics in the city of Flint, I contribute all the good pro athletes that came out of St. John Street area and the city of Flint was because of the Mott Foundation athletic programs. We had Mott Foundation baseball. We started playing as kids. Mott Foundation football, basketball, track, the whole bit, funded by the CS Mott Foundation, equipment and everything else, and they set up leagues for little kids. And when I say kids, I mean 8, 9, 10 years old.
That's where you gotta get them.
So when we got to junior high and high school, we were accomplished athletes. Okay, because we knew the game because of that. So all of us, they had the prejudices and the bigotry, and they existed everywhere. But they made a mark, those two men in the city of Flint.
Putting something back in the city.
Yeah.
That we can still see to this day.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that's legacy. That's what y'all do. You know?
Yeah.
That's what this dance is about. Like that's what this dance is about, legacy. Like
We like to see a lot of the younger people come out,
yes, sir.
you know, and so that they can learn about the St. John Street community and what their parents and grandparents had achieved in spite of all the prejudices against them.
Yes, sir.
They, you know, when they said, when given a lemon, make lemonade or whatever,
Mhm.
that's what we did. We opened our own businesses in the St. John Street area. We flourished. Our kids became athletes, scholars, teachers, doctors.
And it's the proof. You can see it. Like you can see it. Like,
Mhm.
that is. It's like education was a purpose. Like
Absolutely.
y'all didn't play with education. Like y'all took it serious.
And that was instilled in us. Education. Back to Miss Broadway again.
Yeah.
Anybody my age, if you know some people in Flint that grew up in the city of Flint, in the St. John Street area or the South Side, the Black community on the South Side as well, they knew Miss Broadway. All the kids knew of Miss Broadway because she stayed on you. She would check you on your kids. She wasn't harsh, but she checked on your grades. James, how you doing in school? I wasn't the only one. Any kids she came in contact with.
That's all it takes.
It was about education. She taught the young women how to act as ladies, how to carry themselves as ladies. And that's how they often refer to Miss Broadway, as teaching young ladies how to act as ladies. But Miss Broadway also taught young men how to treat the young ladies. She was always there doing something for the youth all the time and teaching.
That statue is going to be free, though.
Yeah.
That statue is going to be well worth it. It's something that we can touch and see. You know.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
piece of history.
Yeah, you can hear it in my voice when I start talking about Miss Broadway.
Man, it's like a light, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you can see the impact, and that's what it's like. We all should be, you know, especially our age over here, we should be looking to make that impact in some child's life.
Mhm.
You know, and not just our own child. We're supposed to do it in ours, but about grabbing the next child and saying, "Hey, you know, how's your grades?" You know,
There you
something
go.
as simple as that, just showing a child that you care,
Right.
makes them care. a little bit.
Exactly.
So it's
And make it and instill in them the importance
Mhm.
of those grades and an education.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So we have actually covered some great history. Man.
Want to hear more? Come on over.
Oh, we're coming.
Saturday.
We're coming. We're coming. Meet me there. Oh, beat me there, don't meet me there. There you go.
And
Beat me there, don't meet me there.
you'll hear, you get to talk to some people, and when you see them standing around in little groups talking and so forth, they're reminiscing.
That's
Yeah.
when you just slide
There's
on.
and just listen.
Just listen.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing sometimes, just to get listen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Everybody want to talk, everybody want to be seen, but sometimes you just gotta listen.
Well, my grandfather used to tell me that's why I had 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Man. Yes,
Do more listening than talking.
So yeah, so
Miss Bada said, Miss Brenda, you were the most beautiful lady then and now.
man, shout it
you.
out. Yeah.
All right.
Miss Taylor, Mr. Taylor had a store over there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, we looking to see you too, Miss Taylor, down here, so we can pick your brain about that store too. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I like about our reunions.
Oh, yeah.
Get people together.
Bring your memories. Yeah.
Man, like that
You
is.
can hear some stories there.
It's a magazine, correct? The magazine or calendar?
Calendar.
Calendar. Yeah.
So that's something else we could be tapping in, the merchandise. Like, you gotta go on the website. You gotta go on the web. Can you say the website one more time? Did you post the website?
Yeah,
Did you pin it? You
Mhm.
pinned it? Okay. Y'all go look at the pin, get the website. Let's get on that website. Let's get some merch, man. Let's show up in force. And let's represent Flint the right way. They've been representing Flint the right way. Now let's get some lessons. Let's learn. Let's pick up this torque and let's keep this thing going. Like, it's possible. They're telling us it's possible. They're showing us it's possible. The foundation has already been laid. We're standing on the shoulders of giants. We just got to understand that. We got to get back to community based, get back to us, and get back to loving each other first. Like,
That's it.
Well said. Yes, sir.
so, Saturday, June 1st,
Mhm.
4 to 7 p.m., St. John Street neighborhood, Memorial Park, West Boulevard Drive, and Massachusetts.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on down.
Y'all come now.
We're looking to see
We're
y'all.
looking for you.
Yes, that was excellent. I really, really enjoyed this conversation.
I enjoyed it too.
Like,
Thank
I enjoyed this conversation too. I love to hear him talk anyway. He's so knowledgeable.
Both of y'all, man, both of y'all. Like, I can just see the team that y'all are. Like y'all.
Yeah.
But we've been knowing each other all our lives.
I used to run after her all
Oh,
the time. She, like I was telling Devon, she was like Captain America. She had this shield. She put on.
You got to get you. Got to get you.
All right.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Hey. But that those great relationships though.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
memories.
We had fun. You know,
Man,
I could look back on that growing up, and it was just a lot of fun.
that is
Mhm.
A
awesome.
lot of pleasant memories. So many.
Now, that's the thing. The night don't have to end with vibes.
No.
No, it doesn't.
There's no reason for it to. It's like we just had another baby shot and drive by 4-year-old.
We had our conflicts, but we had fights,
Yeah.
It's different.
and then after the fight was over, everything was cool.
Everybody live
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
The same dudes you were fighting with that
You hang
day.
it with him the next
Right.
time.
Mhm.
Like, that's love right there. You know, that's real love. It's when you can fight, you can battle, and then you still can walk on home together.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's what a brother is supposed to do. Like, you know, I push them, they push me. You know, and it
Yeah.
reciprocates.
Don't cross that line.
You right.
You know,
Whatever you do.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even the time. You know? I am looking forward to coming down. Bring
Well,
the kids
good.
We're
out.
looking forward to seeing you
Yeah.
there.
Sure.
Bring the kids out.
Yep.
That way they can eat and we can
Mhm.
learn. But they gonna learn too, because these kids a lot smarter than we was. You know, they catching on like
They're
this.
amazing, aren't they?
Man,
I don't think that they're much smarter. They're just exposed to a lot.
maybe that's what
They
it
could
is.
be,
Maybe
yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah. They're not any more intelligent than we were.
But they're coming out with their eyes open though. That's the thing that got me.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend that called me and talked the other day about her granddaughter. 4 years old,
Mhm.
reading to the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Takes her little
Mhm.
books to say, "Where you going to?" "Well, I gotta go read to the kids."
See,
And she said, the teacher, I guess, took a picture of her, and she's sitting in her little chair reading, and all the little kids. I was like,
Yeah.
But who
Four
would
years
think
old.
that we wouldn't
amazing
have
to
been
me.
able to do that as kids, depending on what we were exposed to?
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They
Yeah.
said a
Yeah.
lot of these kids.
I remember my mother
Yeah.
teaching me to read.
Mhm.
But she sit me on her lap and she had these cards with big
Yeah,
letters on them
Yeah.
and so forth.
Mhm.
Teaching me to read, and I was reading pretty good. So my mother tells me at 5 years old I was reading real good.
So
But now
was
what
I.
Brenda's talking about, this child is so advanced now. She's way beyond the reading
Right.
stage
Mhm.
Comprehend.
because of what she was exposed to.
Okay.
Parents, just say start at home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You take care of home first, then you go outside the door, see what needs to be fixed in the community. Then you go, well, first you see what your neighbor needs,
Mhm.
help your neighbor,
There you go.
then after your neighbor, you go into the community. Then after you go from the community, then,
Yeah.
to other communities to help. But this is history. This is
Yeah.
what we need to know. I truly
Well, thank you for allowing us to
appreciate.
run our mouths.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. This is history, Like, you see, bro, he became in just to get to know.
That was a good
Are we still going on?
Huh?
Are we still on?
No, we're not.
Oh, good.
No,
We're on
Okay, because then we, yeah.
we're still live, baby.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good time.
Oh, we're still live. Go ahead,
Yeah.
pop.
Oh, we're still live?
We're still live.
Oh, okay, we're still enjoying.
Well, still come out, celebrate
Yes, for sure.
June 1st, 4 to 7. Be there, or you are a square.
There you go. That's the phrase that has survived years and years.
Yeah.
Be there or
Around
be square.
forever.
Be there or be square. And it's no excuse. It's no excuse.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Until next time, Fli-City Blackout.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you,
Y'all come.
guys.
We've been looking forward to seeing you on Saturday.
I would
Yes,
have
sir.
talked to you.
I'll be there.
Time. Yep. I did.
Time
He did.
Yep. Saturday, June 1st, 4 to 7. We got at St. John Street Dance. Oh, St. John Street, Neighborhood Memorial Park, West Boulevard, Drive in Massachusetts. I messed that all up. But y'all heard me the first time.
Yeah.
Boulevard.
So right, yeah. So again, that is St. John Street at Neighborhood Memorial Park, West Boulevard, Drive in Massachusetts.
There you go.
4 to 7.
Where to say?
Be there and be square.
Then it come.
Alright.
We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs. Fli-City come off then it God, then it come. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce.
My city experiencing a transition from penny pinch.